Good evening, everyone. Today I have Mr. Dilip Sinha. He's a CHRO of Vedanta and he has previously worked in Reliance and Jindal Steelworks. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Welcome to XLRI. So, starting our podcast, your career has spanned leading organizations like Reliance, Jindal Steelworks, and now Vedanta. How has each of these experiences shaped your approach to HR leadership?
Okay. I will divide my experience, which still influences my all the organizations in three parts, basically. One part you have missed. I worked for the government also. I worked for Indian Police Service also. So, government, the retail, and the core manufacturing. These are three areas I have worked. Out of 30 years, very less period in the government, like 2-3 years, and rest 50-50 in retail and manufacturing core industry. See, government has given me guts to take decision making capability. Being aggressive, it has come from there probably. Retail has given me agility to perform, respond. Retail works on a very agile platform. Every hour is a change. You must have seen when I was with Future Group, buy one get one, buy one get four. So this kind of phenomena occurs with 2.5 million SKUs. Imagine the agility of that retail company. So I think agility and business sense I have learned from my retail experience, and thanks to Kishore Biani, whom I have worked very closely. And the core industry has given me to think big, especially Reliance, JSW. All are behemoths in their area. So I think they have given me to think big, deliver big, handle huge large workforces. Reliance, you know that we had 4.5 lakh people. And I was instrumental in building the entire team of retail and Geo, both. It was humongous. So same year in steel industry, when I joined JSW Steel, they were into expansion mode and they were almost doubling every plant. So very few companies dare to develop and expand in product, market and geography, every area with the volume. So that was JSW. Now they are planning to reach 50 MTPA by 2030. Huge expansion. So they gave me a perspective to think big, deliver big, plan big, manage a macro organization so well. So I think these three things really worked for me and is still influencing Vedanta. Vedanta is also a behemoth.
Yes, sir. So, the numbers that you're describing, they are so large. I'm not able to comprehend. Apologies for that, but like 4.5 lakh people, sir, in building Future Group as well as Geo.
Yes.
That must have been.
It is behemoth. Yes.
That must have been. Calling challenge would be very. I will like underplaying that, if I may say so.
Yes, it was a different kind of ball game. Personally, I feel number is just a mindset. Fundamentally should correct. Things will fall in line.
That's something I think that one must, when confronting big opportunities, that one must remind itself. Also, sir, in today's rapidly changing business environment, how do you see the role of organizational culture evolving, and what strategies have you found the most effective in shaping it?
Okay. See, I look at it very differently. The only culture exists in the organization is performance culture, nothing else. So, promoters or any other company in that way, they think only in terms of volume, cost, EBITDA and cash flow, nothing else. So, you have to think similarly. And to have that culture, you need to engage people accordingly. You have to evolve that kind of culture. And anybody joining your organization, they come to work, not to leave. It's a basic fundamental. You have to engage them in two ways, behaviorally, functionally. Engaging them behaviorally is not a challenge. You create fantastic infrastructure, create beautiful township, give them all infrastructure. Like currently we have a township having 7 swimming pools inside, 1 auditorium with 650 capacity, world-class gymnasiums. These are easy. You can buy, build and make it. The difficult part is functionally engaging them. That culture you have to evolve. So we have worked a lot in those areas, of course. So challenges were two. When mature people join laterally, there is a lesser challenge. They are focused, they understand what to do, their delivery is defined. But the young generation which joins, they are quite gullible and confused. What to do, what not to do. But whenever I speak to them, I had a common complaint that we are not engaged. So I asked them, what do you want in engagement? What do you mean? They said, we want to be engaged in work, not in mundane data kind of things. So I took a very interesting step in Vedanta recently. I created a project which is called Project Neve, it is foundation.
Yes, sir.
And made a group of 4 young boys and girls. They can opt for any project, live project happening there. So in entire company there, I was surprised, there were more than 74 projects taken by them, ending every quarter with high rewards, FaceTime with chairman and vice chairman, participation in international workshops. This engaged. That's what they wanted. And my purpose was solved. So imagine every year out of 74, even if 10 projects are through, company is gaining.
Yes, sir.
So this kind of culture you have to bring. Only performance culture, nothing else.
And if I may, sir, I hope I'm not asking you for company secrets. What was the performance statistic? I mean, with what you're describing, I think their performance must have went through the roof.
Yes. So Vedanta is famous for that. We are disproportionately growing. We are largest aluminum producer. We are largest silver producer. We are largest gold producers. We are largest zinc producers. We are also now entering into semiconductor and displays. So we are largest natural assets managing company. So nobody is comparable to us. So once the company is growing disproportionately, culture has to match. Hence those kind of background we are building.
That's amazing, sir. I mean, really, just allowing people to express themselves through work.
Yes.
And not only does it solve their purpose of like how we want to do something, but also increasing the company. Like it's really in business that you find a win-win solution.
Yes. So that's the only way to keep people engaged, at the same time get the result delivered.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm still trying. I mean, as I said to you before our podcast, like I saw your profile, I was like, I'm going to get everything, and
I'm humbled.
And the kind of knowledge that I'm getting, like I hope one day I think on that level, sir. But this is awesome. I mean,
thank you so much.
So, sir, you have been at the forefront of transformation management. Can you share specific examples of challenging transformation that you did, and how did it impact the organization's performance?
Okay. See, fortunately, I have taken always the challenge. I'm not a normal HR leader who signs the recruitment letters. I don't love signing it. Digital signatures are enough for that. So when I joined, I'll give you a recent example of JSW Steel and then Vedanta. So JSW Steel, when I joined, Mr. Jindal personally asked me, I want productivity at the highest on world benchmark level. So I said, steel was new to me. See, my career, I started with government, joined in hardcore engineering company BML, work in Africa in FMCG company for 5 years, came back in retail. So it was retail, supply chain, heavy engineering, ferrous, non-ferrous metal. So this ferrous metal was first for me. Steel I never worked. So I said, what is the productivity norm? He said, I want 1,000 people per MTPA. Just 1,000 people for 1 MTPA in my plant. And the current strength was 2,700 per MTPA. Almost 1,700 people more. And this is including permanent and contract employee. So workforce model is 70% contract, 30% direct employee. That's the workforce model in steel. So I could not comment anything. I was too new. I had just joined. I said, I'll take 2-3 months. Give me some time to study, dissolve, adjust, and then I'll come back. So I made a team of 4 or 5 industrial young engineers. They were 2 boys and 3 girls. Then I started the study. No help of any consultant, not at all. So entire plant, I took Bombay plant first, which was 5 MTPA going to be 10 MTPA. First ever double jump they were taking. I asked them to slice the entire plant by the duty positions. You guys understand duty positions?
Yes, sir.
So duty positions are those positions which cannot be left unattended 24/7. So they are quintessential for production. So they are identified everywhere: blast furnace, coke oven, SMS, agglomeration, final goods, everywhere they did. After 3 months, I came with a study of 1400 per MTPA, not 1000. So precisely it was 1360 per MTPA. I went back to Mr. Jindal. I said, I need your appointment. He said, just walk in. I am okay for you. So I said 1400 people per MTPA. I think he was waiting for that. He smiled. He said, go ahead. And I could do 1360 per MTPA. This is a world benchmark in the steel industry. Still working in Mumbai. So for 10 MTPA, 13,600 people are working. 40%, almost 35% is direct employee. 65-70% is contract employee. This was workforce modeling change. Of course, it doesn't come so easily. It comes with the skill assessment, upliftment, existing skill assessment done, digitalization, automation. So all combined, this was the result. Not only reducing the manpower. So digitalization also has a lot of, automation also has a lot of effect. This was JSW. And to my fortune, again, when I joined Vedanta, I had mentioned in my CV that I have done this. So Chairman Anil Agarwal again asked me, why don't you do here also? So I am doing that. And I think another 3 months, I will do it here also. So I am doing that workforce modeling. Again, interestingly, the workforce model is similar. 80% is contract, 20% is direct employee. And we are working here. It is slightly different. Their workforce model was different. You may expunge that later once you show to the public. All contract employee in JSW were hired by 10 companies. These 10 companies were owned by us at arm's length. But in Vedanta, it is not owned by us. It is all different players. That's the challenge I am having here. So let's see. But I have applied the same skill assessment centers. Minimum diplomas and ITIs will come on the roll of contract. Engineers and above we take in Vedanta. So those kind of workforce modeling I am doing, and I am sure I will do it. And again here I am comparing with the world benchmark of 290 productivity per employee I have taken here.
So this involved like a 360-degree transformation of the whole.
And it is tough. It is not easy. You have resistance internally, externally both.
Externally, sir?
Union.
Yeah.
That is also external major player for us. Internally, all function heads, they don't want any change. They don't want reduction in the manpower. But ultimately, they are happy when they see the productivity and free cash flow because they get money. Ultimately, end of the year.
Yes, sir. So coming on to, as we talked about digitization, as the HR functions continue to be digitized, what do you see the most promising technology and how are they revolutionizing the traditional HR functions?
For me, digitalization is not adopting just simply a software. Number of software available, but that is not the digitalization 100%. There's just 10% of the digitalization. See, entire digitalization project I have divided into 3. I mean, I have not read anywhere, but I just decide on my own how to operate and get the result. So entire workforce I have divided into 3. One is digitalization for the workforce, digitalization for the workplace, and HR delivery. So HRIS is HR delivery. Yes, you adopt a system like any software, you take Darwin-Box or SuccessFactors, that does the purpose. But digitalization of the workplace, very, very important. You apply in safety, you geofence the area, hazardous area, protect people from going on those dangerous area, PPE alarms, all geofencing of way bridges, dangerous operations like pot lines, cast house, those areas. So this is about the workplace. And for workforce, happiness, entrance, exit. So recently we have just put one FRS, face recognition system, which capture your emotions also. 8 emotions it captures. So whether we are frowning or happy or unhappy, and we make some analytics. Why so many, say out of 16,000 people coming inside, why 8,000 people are not happy? I mean, you have some data to analyze. So this is just one example I have given you.
That's actually so very smart.
Every employee of mine, I have put a barcode in their helmets which contains all the information about him, emergency contacts, blood group, everything. Because one thing people don't realize, that if the accident happens, everything is lost, not the helmet. You get all the information there.
Yes, sir.
Sometime half of the body is gone.
Mm.
We work in a dangerous industry.
Yeah.
900 degree temperature, steel was 1800 degree temperature, work with fire. So I thought, why not we put an identification mark so that at least I can identify someone what has happened.
So, and so that's like.
So these are some examples I have given.
And sir, also like using of face recognition software, that's like cheating, like getting problems, solving problems before they occur.
Correct. So your job is to preempt any untoward things in the plant.
That's like very genius and also very cheeky, if I may say so.
See, if you look at problems, imagining yourself working there, then you can find the solution, not sitting in the room. So every HR should understand the operation very well.
So, and so how is technology transforming the HR functions?
With this adoption of technology, it is helping us. Definitely, it is helping us. See, when business grows, like we are into aluminum, copper, zinc, silver, gold, iron and steel, everywhere. With so much of workforce, 1 lakh workforce we have. So 1 lakh workforce with so many dynamism, so many laws, so many rules, how do you control? How do you put control systems rather in place? This comes with the technology only. If I have to hire 2,000 people, like last year we hired 2,000 young boys and girls, how do I control? How do I induct? How do I make sure that they are inducted in the system? It is all technology, nothing else. We cannot go by the traditional way of filing forms, etc. So once we hire, 1 month before, everything starts, all digital. So these are 1 or 2 things I'm giving. I can't tell everything here.
Although sir, now, as you just pointed out, a lot of HR functions have become a lot data driven. So how have you personally leveraged analytics in strategic HR decisions, and what outcome and approaches that have yielded?
See, I just hinted earlier that for running a behemoth company like us, where so much of expanse is there, like you have plant, you have port, you have mining. We are one of the largest mining operators of coal and bauxite, 170 MTPA I am talking, huge. So if you have to handle all these, you need to have some control systems in place. And I just did not have the last part of the question. Just tell me that one.
What outcomes did these
Yes.
data-driven HR?
So in this scenario, the company demand from HR is completely changing. See, the promoters and the top management expects you to deliver in terms of volume, cost, EBITDA, and cash flow. Can you imagine? My KPIs are cost, workforce modeling. These kind of deliveries are mine. Not heard 5 years back, 10 years
Absolutely,
back.
sir.
Not at all it was heard. So when you have to decide data, see, if I have to increase the productivity like workforce modeling change, then I have no choice but to adopt technology and do this. There is no choice. So HR has to work like that.
So now with the adoption of such fast expansions of technology and with so much data coming in, how do you see the training of the HR changing in the organization also? Because now, earlier it was very traditional, if I may say so, of there were certain models and certain things that you did and could do. But now with so much digitization and data coming in, how do you train a HR manager or person to take that data, derive insights from it, and then make new policies?
See, everything I'm making here is a predictive model. Unless you have a predictive model, you can't succeed. So if you have to increase volume of the production volume, HR has to think that way. Like currently we are thinking of the expansion part. I'm thinking of putting some new workforce modeling. You have to get into that again.
I can't pry those model out of you.
I can tell when time permits, of course. When you are supposed to do cost rationalization, it is not like earlier time, reduce the cost of tea, coffee. No, those are just 0.001%, 0.001% of the company. So when cost rationalization I'm talking about O&M cost. And my delivery is reduce the O&M cost. It is not operations delivery. Imagine operation is not supposed to do that, HR is supposed to do. For obvious reasons. See, we have 80% contract workforce. So you have to think in terms of their skill assessment, productivity, their way of work, then the cost will go down. Not the way operation people think of. You have to change the thinking. When I have to think of EBITDA, again it is outcome of volume and cost.
Yes,
so these are the expectations from management. So hence intensive data driven details you must have. Relevant, of course.
Yes, sir. Now, as you said, sir, performance management is also constantly evolving. What unconventional methods you have experimented with, and how did they impact the employee productivity and engagement?
See, we have not taken any set model of performance management system. We have neither 360, we have neither management by objective or balanced scorecard or OKR, nothing. It is very common, is extreme common sense and very, very practical. Our KPI delivery sheet is one sheet. One side we write where we are, where we want to go, timeline, and the project manager. That's all. And every 3 months we review. And we give disproportionate rise. Disproportionate rise, when I say, we give out of turn promotion, we give out of turn increment, we give out of turn award. It goes up to crores. It's obviously related to the outflow or the result what you are making. So we have completely challenged the existing traditional system. Recently, we thought why we follow a traditional system of getting people up. So we published an advertisement from chairman's office. It is called We Desire, Vedanta Desire. So you can desire what you want to do. No barrier of qualification, age, experience. So if I am working in HR, I can tell I want to work for CSR also, work for advocacy also. You will not believe we had 1800 applications. Out of that, we entertained 300. See, this is the way you challenge the existing system. And Vedanta is very particular about giving disproportionate rise. Experience and age doesn't matter in our company. No time bound that 2 years you have residency, promotions, all these things. No. So all the traditional way of working we have challenged.
Only performance.
Performance culture only.
Right. That's awesome. Like you've literally thrown a book out and just come up with something which is so unique and so great that I think it should be taught.
It should be. See, this is first generation entrepreneur. From where to where.
Yes,
I'm sure you must have seen our chairman's video,
yes,
how he started his career some time back in Mumbai, and now he is the Metal King. He is literally called Metal King of India. Global rather.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And also the kind of approach that you have taken of strictly going on for performances and not only and leveraging technology in a way that I mean I come from IT industry, and we only dream of using technology in the way that your Vedanta has used. And so I can't. It's like a dream come true. Like that's what we thought. Like I remember doing a course in IoT, and like, why can't we use it? Why can't there's so many places it could be used? And here I am sitting with you, and you're like, we've done it. What are you talking about?
See, it was very interesting working with Vedanta. See, here, my chairman always says, don't wait, just go on. 100% trailer fit cannot happen. Even if you are ready 60%, take a bet. So we behave similarly. Even if we promote someone, we take a bet. Even if somebody is ready 60%, fine, we'll handhold for 40%.
That's actually a very good advice in terms of HR, but also a good advice
for entire business. Yes, of course.
Leadership, sir.
Leadership, yes.
And yeah, I'll remember that, sir. Now, sir, looking ahead in 5 to 10 years, what radical changes do you anticipate in HR practices, and how are you preparing your team and organization for these shifts?
See, very simply, I take life and work both very simply. My message to HR fraternity is to focus on PPT, not on the way you make on laptops, people, process, technology, and the quintessential is safety. I think if you focus on these four, all kinds of business on earth, whether it is retail, supply chain, service, these four are crucial and they lead the force. No fifth thing is required. People are most important, processes are most important, technology is relevant, safety is of course integral part of it. That's all. My advice to HR fraternity, focus on this, understand operation, go ahead.
So drill down all the HR practices into one.
That's all. Very simple.
And that only comes with age and experiences that you have, sir.
I think so, yes. My receding hairline says that.
No, sir. So if you could go back in time, and what advice your younger self who's just starting in HR, what would be the most crucial lesson you would share?
I answered that PPT and safety. Add this with your agility. That's the requirement of time. Every promoter, every business requires the agility in the person. You can't survive without that. You have to be extremely agile. I think not more than this is required in life.
So talking about agility, how, we see that in the recent years, the businesses have become very agile and they are pivoting their models almost like 7-8 years. With the pivoting of the business models also comes with the pivoting of the HR functions and the HR organization. So how is that role going on? How do you see that? And one of the interesting things that you have seen, that I have learned from you, is that you've just thrown the book out of the window and just focused on the entire basics. Just gone back to the basics. Would those basics are they like foundational basics, or were there any business transformation changes that happen?
See, I don't say that whatever you have learned are useless. See, all your study and theories, what you have done in life, student life, it gives you a base. See, it makes you analytical, business savvy. So those are already there working in your CPU. So when you take a call, it continuously guides you to take right or wrong call. So it is not that any fool cannot take a call. So obviously, if you are combined BE or MBA or combined, see, it gives you a lot of wisdom to take the calls and keeps you guiding every moment. This is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, and you go ahead. So use that sense, of course, with the data, business, understanding of the operation. And the most important part is you have to believe. everything starts with the belief. Suppose if you join a company and the promoter tells you, or the top management tells you, we want to achieve say 10 MTP of steel this year. See, they are not fools. Off the hat they are calculating and they are saying that this is you want to achieve. You have to believe that. If you believe that 10 MTPA can be achieved, you start back working and you achieve either 10 or more. But if you believe it cannot be achieved, 5 MTPA is fine, you back work for 5 MTPA only. Life is so simple. Maybe I will put it more simply. So I take very simple example in life. So if you believe that you have to come to office at 9 a.m. sharp, what do?
So I try to get by 8:30.
So you get up early, you eat early, you catch the first bus early, and what happens? You reach at 9 a.m. So if it is 11 a.m.,
calculations are accordingly.
All belief. So life, personal, professional, all works around this. You have to believe first. So the way you believe, you start behaving and the result happens. How did you come to XLRI? You want to do MBA?
Yes, sir.
So that was your belief to do MBA from a top institution. What did you do? You had world's all coaching, Brilliant, Switzy, whatever. I don't know what is the relevant coaching now. So you started back working. You went through that and you achieved. If not IIMs or XLRI, you achieved tier 1. So belief is most important in life. You have to believe.
I think so, a little bit of God's will.
God only supports those who work hard.
Yes, sir.
That's all. I believe that.
So
God always supports when you are going with the wind. He will just push you.
Yes, sir.
There is an element. I always believe there is
yes,
something in the universe.
We had an exam today, in the morning, and so I prepared. And after the preparation, I had like 10 minutes for myself with my creator. So like, look, I've done my part. Now it's up to you.
Rest all. Yes. So few things make life think simpler. Think simply. Slice your entire project in small steps. Keep on achieving. Otherwise, it is difficult. It will look like a mountain.
So the way you're describing it actually looks like a mountain.
It happens. You are young. At your age, I was also thinking same way. But maybe possibly at this age, there is a clarity and so much of wisdom has come. So maybe it is slightly easier for me to take the calls head on.
Plus, you have more tools like experience.
Yes, that happens. That helps. I have worked in retail, supply chain, India, overseas, so many countries. Ferrous, non-ferrous metal, cement, RMC, retail, everywhere I have worked almost. FMCG in Africa.
So your experience is widespread.
Almost all kinds of sectors, if you call. So that really helps. That helps too.
I think so. With such a diversity of experiences, it will also give you a diversity of thought.
Of course. Diversity of thought, handling different kind of people, handling and understanding different kind of businesses. See, retail is completely different. Manufacturing is completely different. Steel is different. Aluminum is different. Cement is different. All are completely different business. And believe me, I never worked for cement. I never worked for ferrous metal, non-ferrous metal. Never worked for FMCG. But I always put first 3 to 6 months to understand the business first. I don't sit at office 6 months on the software, stand there, understand all the nuances. Then only you can make value addition. Otherwise, no.
Correct.
Otherwise, you'll become signing up.
CV signer.
So I never wanted to do that. So that's unproductive and routine job. So you have to come out of that.
And one of the things that I liked was like you took your time to, understand the business from inside out. That's, I think, some people either don't get the opportunity to do it, or some people just are I won't say, I would say, are not trained to do, or are not trained themselves to do it.
Yes, and see, you have to make sincere effort. You have to read, and read. Uh, Unfortunately, I am seeing the young generation which is joining us. They have no patience to read. But there is no better friends than reading something. You have to read.
Yes.
They are the best friends. Easy source. Now these days you have on the fingertips. In our times we had to refer hard copies. So time has become easier. I find it much easier to read these days.
I remember my mother and father describing me how they used to take notes.
Correct.
And like going to a library in certain period of hours. There were only like reference books which you can't show out. Then you have to sit there and take.
Now it is anytime, anywhere, at your ease. See, and see, very interestingly, and these days, I observe a lot of my peers, seniors, young generation. See, cut paste will never work. Even if it is similar industry, I worked with Future Group, with Kishore Biyani, worked with Reliance Retail. They don't work similar way. Both are retail. The way of working is completely different. You have to rewrite rules. You have to think fresh. Don't cut paste. See, it will not help. Your wisdom will help. But if you cut paste, you fail. Most of the HR people do cut paste. See, you must be hearing diversity has become a fashion these days, right? DEI, yes. Diversity,
equity and inclusion.
So, I have worked with big companies like Future Group, Reliance. Retail has no challenge. 80% is diversity. The industry is like that. The girls like it. And they are not located at God-forgotten places.
Yes, so you have to be in the center.
60 top cities of India.
Correct.
All AC atmosphere, glittering world. So, no challenge. Core industries have challenge. So, when I was in JSW, it was less than 4%. Obvious reason. I mean, core industry have difficulty. Reliance, 3.4%. Vedanta is extremely aggressive. When I inherited here 2 years back, I inherited 12% diversity, which is too big. 12% workforce is female. Nowhere I could see in the core industry like this. But you will be surprised. In 2 years, I have made it 22%. And next year, target of mine is 30%. So how it happens? Just talking, it will not happen. See, most of the companies take diversity. I'm talking about female candidates. I have hired transgenders also here, special ability people. This is real diversity. Hire from East, West, North, South, Kashmir, extreme places of Northeast. This is also diversity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm doing that, Northeast, West, South, everything. So how it happens? Most of the company you will see diversity they will take in enabling function, HR, commercial, finance. How many people you can take in that? What is the percentage of enabling function in any core industry?
Not much, sir.
10%.
Yes, sir.
So, क्या करोगे? Fill up कर दोगे पूरी 100%? No.
Even if you fill every HR,
even then it will not cross your double digit.
Correct.
So what to do? So when chairman told me, Dilip, I want to make it 30% diversity in our company. Think. You will not believe, along with my team, I kept on thinking what to do. I did not get an answer. One fine night, I got the answer. I said, if I create positions for females in soft floor, that is sustainable and scalable. My 80% workforce is on the soft floor, no? Yes. 85%.
Correct.
So you have to identify which positions are meant for soft floor and why positions. Every position female can work. So I took special permission from government of Odisha and Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh to employ females in third shift also, night. Apart from ABC shift, A and general shift we were employing. So I said, why not be in night shift? Government permitted. So I started a special scheme. I called it Sri Sakti. Hired only female for soft floor. So that has taken jump. Another project I took, Project Panchi. This was a dream project my chairman was thinking. So when I joined, he said, last 2 years I have been asking people, they have not done. I want you to do it. So this Panchi was very interesting. I mean, very, very interesting project. He wanted to hire 1,000 girls who are +2 passed but dropouts. But another rider was they must be below orange card and red card. Almost impossible, no? +2 dropouts below orange card and red card means poverty line ke niche.
Yes, sir.
I said, fine, let me do it. 1,000 girls, all India, I have already done 450. And we are adopting them for 4 years as an apprentice. I have a tie-up with OP Jindal Global University. I have put them in engineering and science courses only because they will go to the soft floor. So these 1,000 girls will also go to the soft floor. See, these are the ways you should think to have reality in their diversity, not just eyewash. So 400 are there, 600 more I have to do, I'll do it. So last 6 months I have done this. So another, I think 1 year I'll finish those 600. It's very difficult to find them. Again, I use that AI and data driven technology, completely on phone interviews, evaluated somewhere else. It was completely codified. Nobody knew who is selecting whom. Obviously for biasness, no biasness, etc.
Yes, sir.
So see, when you think differently, radically, you succeed. When you cut paste, you land up filling up in enabling.
Exactly, sir. And one of the things that strike me is that there's always been, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, especially in the core industries, the idea of a woman working on a shop floor was like, what are you saying? And you said, why not?
It's just a mindset, nothing else. If a female can fly a Rafale, why can't on the soft floor? What a stupidity.
Absolutely, sir.
So we have had transgenders also in our material handling equipments, security for the first time in core industry. So you have to think differently. Otherwise, diversity and fashion will be only fashion, nothing else. And I feel some projects you should do with mind, body and soul together, not from HR point of view. So these projects are, all three are aligned. Sometimes I do from here, not only from here.
Also, sir, I mean, and also, sir, it's also about challenging existing mindsets which are in an organization.
See, that's important. See, once you have a value proposition for people, everybody will like it. Resistance is always there. Resistance to change is always there. People don't accept. But ultimately, when you show the value, they will like it. So whatever changes you make, people will reject you at first go. But it is your resilience, your leadership. You have to push through. Sometimes you have to become bull. Sometimes you have to become bulldozers. This is the way you work.
And if I may add, when they like it, they actually become proponents of that policy.
Correct. So actually you have to have buy-in of them. See, earlier, again in Vedanta, earlier in JSW, when I pushed these young girls, they were resisting. But now they are happy that they say that they are performing better, productivity is better. See, there are inherent benefits. They don't gossip, they don't involve in politics, they don't go for the union, they don't eat gutkhas, pans. So these are basic advantages apart from your productivity and efficiency. And the whole decorum of the soft floor changes. The way you talk, the way you perform. This I learned from Kishore Biyani. We had a supply chain department. You know supply chain, how it works, the language. They have to handle with the truckers, they have to handle. Yeah. So he said, put some girls in that, their language will improve. See, it's very practical. And I put 5 girls in that, the language changed, they became sober. Their dress sense became better, the language became better. So ultimately, all supply chain partners, they are your customers. You have to behave with them properly.
Yes, sir. If I may say, sir, you basically took idea from the Seagrams.
Correct. And you have to keep happy the business partners also.
Yes,
you can't
sir.
abuse them.
Absolutely not.
See, ultimately, end of the day, they are partners in your success.
Absolutely
And
not.
how long you can increase your blood pressure, their blood pressure. Both should work. equally.
Collaboration is always better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
conflict.
always better. It results in synergy.
Absolutely, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having this podcast with us. So we just had a very interesting conversation with Mr. Sinha, who's the CHRO of Vedanta. And for me personally, it was extremely enlightening. And sir, I hope that the insights that you have given me, first of all, I don't forget them. And second, I hope our students and everybody who's listening could use those insights and actually grow themselves and become better HR leaders. Thank you. Thank you for listening.